Hey guys, Joshua here, and welcome back to YouTube. As I promised, it, and this video is 9 years, so I just want to react to this, and this one was, whoa, 2013, wow. Anyway, guys, let's just watch this straight through and just see what it, or how it is. I will play in 3, 2, 1, and this is called Draw My Life. Think Noodles, and I'm just gonna do 3, 2, 1, code blue. And so let's see how Think Noodles became a YouTuber and all that. So anyway, yeah, go blue screen.
Hey everyone, my name is Justin, and I'm gonna do a Draw My Life. I've been pretty nervous about this because I can't really draw, and I didn't think I really had an interesting or inspirational story. At least it's not as interesting as some of those I've seen on YouTube. But anyways, here we go. I was born on May 30th, 1977 in a little state called Texas. Both of my parents have 3 brothers, so I have 6 uncles and more cousins than I can count. When I was about 2 years old, my parents gave me this new toy to play with called a sister. I really loved having a sister when I was younger, but we didn't get along so well in high school. Right after my sister was born, we got our first dog. Her name was Missy, and I don't really remember her very well because she ran away when I was 6 or 7. But I do remember looking for her every day for weeks around the neighborhood after school. My sister and I didn't find out until about 5 years ago that my parents actually gave her away to another family. In early 1981, when I was around 3, my dad brought home one of the newest things out there, a personal computer from Atari. It came with a cassette tape deck to load programs, if you guys even know what that is. My dad was convinced it was going to change the world and thought it was important for my sister and I to grow up with computers. Throughout my childhood, he was always getting us new computers like the Apple IIe and the Apple II GS when they first came out, and it turns out he was right. His fascination with computers was passed on to me, and it's one of the only reasons I'm here right now making videos for you guys. The earliest thing I can remember with clarity is when I was 4. We were visiting my grandparents, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was suffocating. My parents rushed me to the emergency room, and the doctors told them it was bronchiolitis, which is fairly common in young children, and they sent us home. We didn't have the internet or WebMD to look up symptoms, and there was no way of looking it up, so we just had to listen to what they said. I was still having difficulty breathing, and my mom talked to some of her friends about me and heard about a condition called asthma, which would then shape much of my young life. She took me to a pediatric allergist who diagnosed me with chronic severe asthma as soon as we walked in the door. I got a ton of shots and allergy tests and all this other stuff, and we left with a handful of prescriptions for inhalers, daily medicine, and something called a nebulizer. I called it the machine because I don't think I could pronounce nebulizer at the time, but I had to use it 3 times a day with a tube and a mask like you'd see in hospitals. A few days after that, my mom remembers me saying something right after using my machine. I said, "Mom, I feel better." And she realized that I'd really never known what it was like to breathe normally. We spent the next few years in and out of the emergency room to the point where the emergency room staff knew us by name. I was getting weekly allergy shots for all the things I was allergic to that were setting off my asthma attack, except for cats, and I'm still really allergic to them. I was always embarrassed by my condition, and anytime I was wheezing, I'd make an excuse to go to the bathroom so I could use my inhaler without anyone seeing me. In 5th grade, we moved to this country all the way across the world that I'd never even heard of, Indonesia. And we had to get passports and visas and lots of shots, and I was super excited. So we moved across the world, and I started at this new school, and I didn't know anyone. I was a pretty sensitive kid, so I was kind of sad. Over the next couple of years, my asthma improved, and I didn't need the machine anymore. I met 3 really great friends. We did everything together, but as we got older, they started going out for sports. I was still a short, skinny kid, and everyone else was growing up taller around me, and I kind of got left behind. The doctors told me I'd eventually grow, but all the asthma medication had delayed my growth spurt, and at the end of 10th grade, we had to move back to the US when my dad's job transferred him back to Northern California. Academics had always come easy for me, and I ended up coasting through high school. Socially, I was the new kid from Indonesia, and I didn't have a lot of friends, so I spent a lot of time in the computer lab messing about because I'd grown up around computers my whole life.
Wow.
I met a couple of people there who became my really good friends, and we ended up spending all our free time up to no good and got suspended for a week after ending up in a pretty bad situation at a school-sponsored event. During my senior year, I had my final asthma attack, which landed me in the hospital. I was so stressed out by the SATs and college applications that my parents actually picked me up after taking the SATs, and we went straight to the emergency room so I could breathe again.
Wow.
As long as I can remember. I
Oh,
was an
come on. I don't have time for this. Oh, no. Get me out.
I did okay on the SATs though and ended up college-bound majoring in computer engineering with a brand new car. College was awesome. Everyone started with a clean slate in the same situation, so you get a fresh start and everyone's looking for new friends. So I wasn't the skinny kid with asthma or the new kid from Indonesia anymore. I was just regular, normal, like everyone else.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the laziness from high school followed me to college, and let's just say I needed a little bit of extra time to graduate after the first semester's grade report. But there were parties, and I learned how to surf, and we drove down to Tijuana a few times, and my roommate was in a band. I had a great time. Shortly after my first semester, my parents and sister moved overseas again, so it was just me left in California in college. I was sad at first, but it was great because I'd visit them in places like Peru and Colombia during my school breaks. Just before college started back up for my second year, I met my roommate's cousin from New York. She had crazy long hair, and we all went to Universal Studios and rode rides and watched Beavis and Butthead Do America. And little did I know at the time, I just met the girl I was gonna marry. I applied myself a bit more in college, and my sister followed me to the same university, and we became really good friends again. I got my first girlfriend, I graduated from college in June of 2000, got a job working for Cisco Systems in Santa Clara. It was my dream job, and I was excited and anxious and scared all at the same time, and the youngest person around, and I didn't really have a lot of friends. After a few months of doing my own thing, I got a call from that girl who I had met long ago in Universal Studios. And she said she was coming to town in a few months to visit family and wanted to look me up because she'd heard I was in the area. We immediately connected on a different level than either of us had with anyone else. But I lived in California, and she lived in New York. Against all odds, we decided to try long distance and see how it went. I flew back and forth between the West Coast and the East Coast every month or two, and she started college in Boston. Then something really scary happened. I flew from Boston to California on the last American Airlines flight on September 10th, 2001. The next morning I woke up and I realized how close I was to being on one of those doomed flights, and I decided right there to move to Boston to be with her. I still have the boarding pass stub, and it still gives me chills when I look at it.
Wow.
While she was in college, I got a master's degree in business, and she graduated with really good grades and got into medical school back in New York. After moving back to New York, we got a golden retriever puppy together, and she's the most amazing dog I've ever had.
Kobe.
I wasn't ready to re-enter corporate America yet, so I started selling stuff on eBay and came across this stuffed animal called Webkinz. A friend and I decided to start up a blog and a forum about Webkinz to see if anyone would visit, and the popularity exploded overnight. Over the next few years, I continued building blogs and forums, and my wife graduated medical school, and we got married barefoot on the beach. I finally found YouTube in December of 2011, and I originally started my channel as a complement to my blogs and websites, but after posting a few videos with my voice in them, the channel direction changed to be about me, the skinny kid with asthma. I was surprised and excited, and people told me I'd be big on YouTube, and I didn't believe them, but my channel grew, and it's still going, and it's still growing, and it's surprising me every day. I've met so many people and had so much fun meeting and interacting with all of you. I'm excited every morning when I wake up, and I'm happy all day long. I can't imagine doing anything else that would make me more happy or more fulfilled than what I do right now. And I owe it all to you guys, my fans. I wish I could express in words how thankful I am to each and every one of you, but it's impossible, and all I can say is thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Wow. That's a cool story. No, hey, okay guys. That's just pretty amazing. So yeah. I'm just gonna go end this video here. So yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna go end this video here. So anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. And like, if you guys are so glad I made this video, then please comment down below. So yeah, anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.